these pins is by using shrink plastic. I got this pack of 8 plastic sheets from Etsy, and I'll link the seller I got it from below. You'll also need a template of the things you want as a pin. This is the pin I made to try out the plastic before filming, and as you can see, you need to make the template 3 times bigger than your desired size of the pin because the plastic will shrink a lot. By the way, if you're wondering who this is, it's Michael Scott from The Office and this iconic scene.
Worst thing about prison was the Dementors. They were flying all over the place and they were scary, and then they'd come down and they'd suck the soul out of your body and it hurt!
Last thing you'll need is a permanent marker. Now all you need to do is draw your design on the plastic. And when it comes to coloring the designs, I recommend you to flip the design and color it from that side so you don't mix the colored marker with the black outline, which can cause the black marker to smudge. If you have colored markers, you can color in your designs right away, but I only had a black and blue marker, which was still okay because I colored everything later on, which you'll see. And in the description box, I will list all of the pins I made, from which TV show each pin is and what it represents, in case any of you can't recognize a certain pin. Once you finish all of the designs, cut them out and place them on some parchment paper and put them in the oven for just a couple of seconds. Make sure you're keeping an eye on them while they're in the oven, and as soon as they stop curling and shrinking, take them out. So because I didn't have colored markers, I now took some acrylic paint and colored the pins this way. Again, if you do this, make sure to flip them and then paint them so you don't lose the black outline. Okay, this one was the worst to paint because it's so detailed and so tiny, but I managed to do it. If you're planning on making very detailed pins like this one, I really recommend you to get some colored markers first and paint the pins before shrinking them because it will be so much easier. Now I use this polymer clay glaze to glaze the pins, but any top coat works. You can even use some clear nail polish. And I coated the back and the front side of the pin so the paint or the marker doesn't chip. For the pin backing, you can use one from old pins you have, you can use safety pins or some other kind of pin backing, just like this one I have. All that's left to do is glue the backing to the pins. And use a really strong glue for this part so the pin doesn't fall off while wearing it. So I'm just gonna talk you through this second way of doing these pins. So a good alternative for the store-bought shrink plastic are any plastic containers that are made out of number 6 plastics. So just search around your house for any plastic containers that have number 6 in the little triangle. That's how you know that it's number 6 plastic. But the reason why I'm just talking about this and not actually showing you how to use that plastic is because I couldn't find any number 6 plastic containers in my house. I searched everywhere around my house, but there was not a single container with the number 6 on it. But it does exist because I saw Generation DIY do this type of video and she used that method with the number 6 plastic. So it does exist, I just didn't have any luck in finding those containers. And when you use that number 6 plastic, the results are completely the same as if you were to use store-bought shrink plastic. I wish you luck in finding those number 6 containers, and if you do find them, then check out Jennifer's video for further instructions. I'll link it down below. And for the last way, you'll also need a template, but this time in the true size of the pin, and also make sure you print it or draw it mirrored. You'll also need some kind of plastic bag. I use the sheet protector. I recommend you to first try if the bag you chose can handle the hot glue, because some of them will melt. As you can see, I tried a freezer bag and it melted, so I couldn't use this one, but the sheet protector didn't melt, so I used that. Now just place that sheet protector over your template and draw over it. I use nail polish because I find it easier to work with than acrylic paint, but of course you can use paint instead. This way of making the pins requires more work, and the first two methods are much easier to do because there you're drawing a bigger picture. But if you don't have shrink plastic or number 6 plastic, this method works perfectly. You'll just need a little bit of time and patience. And if you're making any colored designs, first outline it with black and then color the whole design. After the nail polish is dry, take a glue gun and cover the whole design in hot glue, and then before it dries, using a piece of that same sheet protector, press the glue with your fingers to flatten it out. Once the glue is dry, you can peel off the design, but of course be very careful. Then I cut off the excess glue and coated them in that same glaze I used before. Lastly, just glue the pin backings to the back and you're done.